down incredibly well. You guys seem to really enjoy it, but also it taught me how flying machines work. Since then, I've understood the mechanics and I've been able to use them inside my own redstone contraptions, which is always good fun. But in that video, I built a working missile system, a system where when it hits something, it activates TNT and then explodes. And I was very happy with this contraption on the day, but since then I haven't really touched the concept. So I thought I would come back to it and try my best to create some awesome missile systems. This is going to be purely experimentation, and it should be quite interesting. So the idea behind this first design is I want to try and make something as compact and easy to build as possible. So we've got a tiny little, I guess, piston motor. This is the same flying machine that powers my elevator in the Hermitcraft base. And then what I think we're going to end up with is this is going to be like our impact hitter. And when these slime blocks crash into a wall, then this flying machine will continue to fly and it will push this redstone block underneath this TNT and it should cause an explosion. That's kind of the thought process here. I'm hoping, I have my fingers crossed, that it's actually going to work. So let's build up a fake wall and give it a whirl. So here goes. Oh dear. Okay, we've lost some of our TNT. It's not good. And that also has not worked as I thought it might. I think it's safe to say that was the worst possible start. Right, back to the drawing board. I wonder if this will work. So if I block this TNT... No. I'll be honest, this is actually really challenging. I've thought of a concept which is to use two flying machines that essentially crash into one another, and that would create a missile, but I really want to create like a super compact one. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I want my first one to actually be one that I personally wouldn't mind building myself if I was to build one. Hold up, I think I might have actually just done something. I think I might have actually just done something. So if there's TNT there, and we power it, this thing can now fly of its own accord, but then as soon as we crash it into a wall... Yes! Oh my word, it works! No way! That thing's tiny. I couldn't even tell you. I wasn't trying to do that, but then I realized when I was stopping this thing, originally I had a piston here, and I realized that the piston wasn't extending until I stopped it, and suddenly it would fire once. So we have a triggering mechanism, and look at the size of this thing. Oh, I'm proud of that. So let's have a look then. With a slightly improved detonating design, we should now have a slightly more powerful and, more importantly, non-dropping TNT design. So it's going to make its way over to that wall there. It's been stopped, TNT has been ignited, and then there it was. So that's caused, well, it would have caused a decent amount of damage. I suppose now we can just try our best to improve the payload a little bit. Which, with this setup here, should be the maximum amount of TNT that our machine can push, because this is 12 blocks in total. I think 9 of them consisting of TNT blocks, and then here is our powering unit. And if we do this observer, yeah, you can see that that is now flying along. And when it contacts this wall... Ah, that is actually a genuine problem. The TNT just drops out the bottom. Okay, let's give this a new tester with the addition of a little glass block down there. Now we should see that when this contacts the wall, we have got ourselves some TNT ignition and a much bigger explosion. Whoa, that packs a punch. That packs a punch in a very small package. We are going to move on to a completely new design in the next couple seconds, but before we do, I just want to say, forget the glass block, it can be TNT as well. 10 blocks of TNT inside this 2x2x7 missile, and if you want to build it for yourselves, then that should hopefully explain it. There may be a world download down in the description, if I remember. Anyway, now that we've pulled off the practical design, it's time to crack on with some things that are slightly more ridiculous. So, to save myself, I've replaced all of the TNT with glass, and now I'm going to start work on actually making this thing bigger. So, I'm thinking if we have something like this going on, will this fly? I mean, seriously, will it fly? No. But it should fly now, and this thing seriously looks like something straight out of Star Wars. I mean, look at that thing. It does look cooler when these are actually pushed up against the pistons, and I imagine it will probably look cooler in flight, which I guess we should find out if it actually works. Now, I have backed up the world just in case, but I think all I should have to do is activate this. And that should have done the trick. But quite clearly, it did not. Maybe if we get rid of these, maybe that was overloading it? No! Oh, no! That is pushing a lot of blocks, to be fair to it. Oh, yeah, whoa. Tons of blocks. Oh, but I got it to work twice. It worked twice and then stopped. For some reason. It stopped working. Oh my word, but now it does work. Oh, that is so cool. And then if we were to stop this thing, that would have ignited the TNT. Oh, wow. Oh, that's a serious business system. So I've just made a few extra improvements, and I think we might be ready for TNT switching now, because look, as you can see, if I place any blocks, even if it hits this central area here, it's going to stop the system, and all of that TNT is going to ignite. Wow, okay, let's do this. Now, I'm sure as anyone who has tested TNT machines before will know that the only way that you should really test the TNT machine is by firing it as some form of ProleteR. So, there we have the ProleteR, and if we activate this thing, that has got the TNT on the move, and I'll be honest, I mean, normally I root for the ProleteR, but I don't think it stands much of a chance on this one. This thing is fast, by the way. This is a fast TNT missile, but there it is. Oh, both TNT activate in synchronization. And you know what? It's fared pretty well. I thought, what? It totally survived. I mean, it wouldn't have done if it was surrounded in grass. Can we make that clear? Give me a second. This is purely just to prove a point, all right? Yeah? I mean, there it is. TNT gets activated, and this time, surely, the ProleteR is gonna explode. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I mean, still not brilliant, but it's better. Now I'm curious, have I missed a trick on a really obvious game mechanic here? Let's see, so if we... Okay, so that breaks the powered rail. Can you push detector rails then? Which one can you push? Is it detector rails? I feel like you can definitely push one of the sets of rails. But maybe not like that. That clearly wasn't working for me, so we're going to move on from that one, and I'm going to try my best to create some form of expandable design. Because, I mean, right now, so we've created the two wide ones, we had two modules of TNT, but wouldn't it be cool if we had like a fully modular system? So I'm talking something that looks a little bit like this. So if we had this going on, then we could attach TNT to the sides of all of these, and then when it crashes into something, it would ignite. Whoa! Okay. So we could create a long missile that, look, it then compresses in. Holy mackerel. Oh, this is a force to be reckoned with. I like to call this the long gangly fella, and if we give it a test... Yeah, that is one gnarly missile. I think it's safe to say that that is quite a serious piece of kit flying through the sky there. And eventually, when it contacts with this, it just is pushing it along. My obstacle wasn't quite strong enough. Okay, let's stop it with another glass block. There we go, that's more like it. And there we go, the back TNT is ignited. And that was awesome. I kind of want to make it bigger. Do you think I've taken things too far with this one? I mean, be honest. Let me know down in the comment section. Have I gone too far with this? This is starting to not look like a missile anymore. Look at that. Look at the size of the ProleteR compared to this thing. I mean, I've made a special case. That is a special edition, first of its kind fortified ProleteR. But I mean, come on. But with that being said, I imagine it's probably not going to be that dangerous because I don't actually think that it's going to work. But let's give it a test anyway. Here goes. No way does this thing function. Look at that. That is a high speed, just lethal block of TNT traveling through the air right there. And it is about to come into contact with that portaloo. Oh my word, and it's kind of wrapped around it. It's created a shape around the portaloo that, like, embraced the build. That was insane. It wrapped around it. That's something that I didn't even think would happen. And, well, I think it's safe to say that it's also dismantled it pretty nicely. Well, I have to say I'm chuffed to bits with that. That's probably one of the most effective weapons I've ever created in Minecraft. I mean, jeez. Just watching it give the hug of death. That was literally like a hug of death for that portaloo. Well, there we go. Missiles. I've built them. And I can safely say I'm quite happy with them. Let me know down in the comment section if you want to see more of this sort of thing. I'm considering trying out some bombing type systems with timers inbuilt in the future. That could be quite fun, but for the time being, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got time for. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please sure to hit that like button, and if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later.